Hey Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and the grossest food I've ever eaten is duck brain stew. Alongside me is Ali DePina.
And the grossest food I've ever eaten is a white ecote taco.
Welcome to episode 54 of the KO Disc Golf Show. This is the Psyduck episode. Famous players that wear the number 54 was Brian Urlacher, Horace Grant, Goose Gossage, who I believe is the grandfather or great uncle of Discraft sponsored player Aaron Gossage. And really interesting to see that Clayton Kershaw wore the number 54 for just the 2008 season, or at least part time in 2008. Famous Red Sox players that I like that wore the number 54, Craig Breslow. He's currently our general manager of the team, so it's really crazy that, like, when I was a fan, when I was a teenager, watching him come out, kind of getting shelled because he wasn't a great reliever, and now he's like making all the calls and running the team. So I think that's pretty cool. Mariners players this year, Carlos Vargas is wearing the number 54 out there, so go out and root him on. Sabres players that wear the number 54, we have Mateus Samuelson. And Ollie, you want to hit us with the Giants and the Kraken?
Yes, sir. But before that, we have maybe the worst draft bust of all time to wear number 54 at the end of his career in Philadelphia. A Kwame Brown. He didn't wear it originally, but he did wear it, and so I just got to shout it out. Last time I'll get to do that. So Kwame Brown is kind of like he kind of got back into the spotlight a few years ago for getting into a fight with Stephen A. Smith online at one of his podcasts, and I remember I was listening and Stephen A. Smith was like talking about biggest bust of all time and was going on and on ragging him. And then Kwame Brown out of nowhere posted on his social media and was like, Stephen A. Smith, if you want to keep talking like all this stuff, you can come to Seattle, come fight me in a mutual combat state. And I was just on Instagram at the time and I was like, all right, I'm going to go search up what mutual combat is. I learned all the mutual combat laws, and it was pretty interesting, and there's a street beefs up in Anacortes, which is funny because they do like a little outdoor fighting ring, and it made no sense to me how that was legal. And then like there's all these hoops, other like UFC and other things have to jump through, but it's because we're a mutual combat state. But basically, they had a huge back and forth, Kwame Brown and Stephen A, about wanting to fight, and I just thought it was hilarious. So shout out Kwame Brown, who to wear number 54.
Wow.
We have no Kraken to wear number 54, and the Giants, we have two of my favorites. We have a little more recent, Olivier Vernon, 2016 to 2018, and then Blake Martinez, another linebacker. So those are my 54 for the Giants.
Nice. Ollie, what is a White Dakota or White Dakota? What is that?
So
What kind of?
it was prepared really well. It had it cooked really well, but it was like basically like it was like this long black it was like a fungus that was kind of grew off of a taco or off a corn, off like a corn hut, like, so it was like it had an interesting bottom to it, and it kind of just threw me off looking at it. And but I ate most of it, and I definitely was there to try things. So um but
Oh, dude, this looks gross.
yeah,
I just looked it up. It's kind of like, oh, it kind of looks like bird poop.
it's interesting. They look different than that, especially when it was cooked, but like it's definitely, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And it was definitely something new, but I tried it for sure.
Wow.
It was
Um,
interesting. They brought out like what you looked up, that picture of it on the corn. They brought out like one of those basically and had it on the middle, and I was like, "Oh,
to like show you this is where it comes from. Oh
yeah."
man, that's nasty. Yeah, when I worked for this, so when I was in culinary school back in Rhode Island, I worked for a pretty high end like Asian restaurant. They had a nice like sushi bar. I worked what they called like the American station, quote unquote, and I just made like a couple of like Asian American like influenced dishes, kind of thing. Yeah. And I was the only American like white guy in the kitchen. There was another like there was like a Puerto Rican guy who was a dishwasher who like me and him were like homies. Like we used to like go to Subway all the time and shit like that together. Like he was like my dude. Like he and I were so cool. Because we're the only two that spoke English in the kitchen. He spoke Spanish too, but like he and I just are like, hey, like we got to kind of like vibe together. And there's a couple other guys that had real broken English. But because they were all like very, very Chinese, they would just make very Chinese lunches and stuff like that. Like we had congee, which is basically just like rice
Hmm.
porridge, like every
Oh yeah.
morning. And one of the things that they did like once a month, because we had Peking duck on the menu, we had a lot of duck heads and duck talons around. So every month or so, they would take all of them, like frozen, they would throw them into a pot, and they'd make like this big old batch of stew in one of the woks. And my it was like my first like month. I look at the guy and who kind of spoke broken English, and I was like, what do I do here?" I was like, "I don't understand." And he like grabs a head, goes, and like bites off the top of the like skull, spits it out, and like tongues out the brain. And he's like, you. And I was like, oh boy. And I was like, I really want these guys to like me. Like I'm the totally different one here. And like I want these guys to think that I'm cool. So I hit one of them and I was like and like
Uh,
the texture was like soft and squishy but like mealy, and like it was kind of like I can never explain that texture to somebody. It was so it was awful. I mean, like the broth itself tasted good because it was like loaded with
yeah.
like poison and like other kinds of stuff. So over time, I would just have the broth with like rice or some kind of like noodles or something, and like, but yeah, that was pretty nasty. And then one of the other things that they made me that they got a really get like good kick out of was it's called a century egg, and it's basically just like a pickled egg that's like pickled over like
Yeah, I've seen
30
those.
days or 100 days,
Yep,
and it's a bouncy ball, dude. Like the thing is like so
I've seen
hard.
those.
I mean, like, I couldn't even swallow that. Like, they cut me off,
Oh,
like, a big piece, and, like, they all came around, and they were, like, so excited, and I was the one guy who was like, I can't, I spit it out immediately, and I was gagging, dude. It was so
oh.
bad. Yeah. They're, like,
Hey,
they thought it was the funniest thing in the world, of
always gotta
course.
try things though.
Oh,
You
yeah.
tried it. That's cool.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious, though.
Oh.
Um, Ollie, you said the AGL's disc drop this week, huh?
Yes, sir. So, little recap. We got the Sequoia. It's going to be the first distance driver in the AGL lineup with Innova. Going to be kind of like that reground, recycled star plastic in the DD3, is what I'm hearing. So, like a good 12 speed. And then we're going to be getting the Elm. That's going to be the overstable 9 speed. Still figuring out, I guess, like the exact numbers of what they want to call it. So, I know they have like kind of the speed, and then everything else they're going to like fine tune and everything with that. But overstable 9 speed, and then the Koa, which is I'm really excited for, is gonna be like a 2301, gonna be like a super straight flying putter. Might like I feel like I might do some like experimenting putting with them, but I also am kind of a really big believer in like. I think I was watching Nate Sexton, one of his rounds. He's like, you can putt with anything as long as you practice putting with it. You know, it's like
Sure.
so I have so many reps and so much practice with the putters I do have. It's like why switch, you know? And they're really like I like my P2s and my alpacas, so it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
So I could see myself experimenting, but I really do like I don't know. It's kind of like just been my putters, and I don't see myself changing too much.
Nice. Yeah, from what I've heard, and correct me, and yeah, definitely please correct me if I'm wrong about any of
Mm-hmm.
this. But I heard the driver is the old DD3, right?
Yep.
And then the putter, is that the old Avier driver mold or part of it?
So it's that's like kind of the first little more Frankensteiny mold we're getting with it. It's not just like a old mold, which I that's like kind of the excitement with it. You know, it kind of does feel like a little bit of the first. I know we are tuning. There's like I was looking at some of this because some people got some Sequoias, some of the like the because there's like the core AGL, basically like the people that are like the team captains and people that really make AGL run. Um, and they've gotten some of them, and they look really domey compared to some of the drivers I've seen, which was really interesting. So like the shape, which is kind of like off eye looked a little different to me, but yeah, that it's supposed to be like an AVR driver bottom, and then the top is supposed to be a little different. So should be
Interesting.
interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm
Really
curious to
excited.
check them out.
9 a.m. this Friday. Yep.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. You got a discount code or anything?
Yep. So it's gonna be Octo Ollie, OCTOOLLIE, all one word. That is also my gamer tag on Xbox, and it's been my gamer tag since like sixth or seventh grade. So when they were like, make a code, I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. So
Yeah. So
Octo Ollie. I gotta double check that, but I'm like almost 1,000% sure it's the Octo Ollie.
hell yeah. If it's not, Ollie will put it somewhere in here now, so you'll be able to
They'll
see.
be in the
Yeah.
description, and then I'll put it up here and stuff as well. But
Yep. Some Discmania news. I just got in some of the DD2s. They're pretty nice. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be like in my bag just because it's a little domey. And from what I've seen online, like they're a little straight for like what I'm looking for out of like that 12 speed driver slot. But 12, 5, negative 1, 2. It's going to be a great thrower. If they're not too overstable, I'm going to get out tomorrow morning and throw this a little bit. So,
Kind of, kind of like I'm pretty sure what I heard rumors. It's kind of the Enigma getting retooled into that DD2 spot.
yeah,
Similarly, yeah,
it's the Enigma from what I understand. So,
yeah, cool.
yeah, I
That's
haven't
really
thrown
I
one of
like
those
that disc.
before.
So I know the Enigmas can bomb, especially for people like not right at like that higher arm speed. That could be like a really nice full flight disc for a lot of people. It was for me for like a year ago or so. I was using it for a lot of distance.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm excited to go check it out tomorrow. If you want to go check them out, you can go to discmania.net, use the promo code Kirby20, get yourself 20% off. Yeah, we'll put it somewhere in here. Appreciate it, Ollie. Thank you for that. Production manager over there. Yeah, Kirby20. Discmania does this like once or twice throughout the year, where they let us put the promo code out, and I'll get a little kickback. So if you want to kind of support me and support Ollie, I'm sure he gets a little kickback as well. So
Oh yeah, it
yeah,
helps out a lot. It definitely helps out a lot, and yeah, no, it helps me out a
yeah,
ton. And then when I start getting some discs in, it's just gonna be even better and stuff. So definitely helps me out, helps Kirby out, keeps me disc in, and keeps me going with that and
yeah.
being able to try new things out and stuff.
So yeah, promo codes help out the KO Disc Golf Show. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much. Besides that, my week was pretty chill. Getting back and forth to Delphi. Ellie's kind of, trying to spend like one night a week over at like with her mom, kind of adjusting to, the new life without Frank and that kind of thing. So, um, had the house to myself to watch WrestleMania this weekend. Kind of a bummer, kind of a letdown. But, I don't know. Raw last night, like Monday Night Raw was dope, but WrestleMania kind of sucked.
I was a little. I just saw some of. I didn't watch. I didn't get to watch it. I think I will go watch it since I just keep seeing so many clips from it. It's like I got to fill in the blanks that I haven't seen. But I saw some of this stuff with Travis Scott and Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes,
Oh
and
my goodness.
it was interesting to see, but I was at the same time it was like it was a little goofy to see. But I felt bad for Cody Rhodes when I saw him walking off, and it like I don't know, my heart. There was a part of me I was like, dang, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll put in my 2 cents before you go in real quick and like really and maybe like give me your opinion on it. But it felt like if John Cena didn't win, the whole heel turn would have been wasted. It would have been a waste of all of that. So he almost had to win that. And so then, but like it felt like a bummer. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I kind of like the idea that like there's this whole like it's not easy for him to get it. Like he's coming for a whole year, and that year I kind of like the idea that the title was always like right there, and right as he was gonna go get it, just slipped out of his hands, and it's just that elusive kind of thing. This is different, and just in a way that I wasn't expecting. So like that is kind of fun, but I don't know. Last night, Randy Orton came out and RKO'd him out of nowhere, and that was pretty awesome. So like I'm already kind of like hyped up for like the next like rivalry that he's kind of got going and that kind of thing. And he is a good bad guy because like he's doing all the things that nobody wants, which is exactly like what a bad guy should do. Like you're supposed to boo him, you're supposed to hate him, and he's not giving you like people wanted him to have like a new theme song, and he's like no, and people want him to change the jean shorts, and he's like no. And he's like, "You don't get that. Like, I'm not giving it to you." And it's really really fun. If you are gonna go back and watch WrestleMania, one match that I have to tell you, you got to sit down and like really tune into is the women's triple threat championship match. It's Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, and it's awesome. Like I was so pumped like watching that match. Like Ellie was sleeping, so I was trying to be quiet, but I'm like it was so good. And yeah, so if you're gonna go back and watch it, like that's
Hell yeah.
definitely one I highly recommend. Yeah, it was so fun. Besides that, I'm getting ready to go back to California. I'm gonna leave Saturday night and just kind of start heading south for the Champions Cup Monday qualifying event. So really excited for that, and yeah. Besides that, I'm still just like dialed up on baseball. Red Sox are doing all right. We're beating up on the White Sox, which we should be. So
Dude,
Um,
I'm loving baseball this year. I
it's
like
fun.
I think I've said this before even on the show, but like I tried to get into baseball like the last 2 years, like trying, and I like really was like I was getting more learning of course like that when you're trying to get into anything, but then nothing was clicking. This year something's just clicking. I'm like keeping track on my phone of the games way more. I'm like,
Hmm.
and it's like I'm having a lot of fun with baseball this year.
I think Mariners are going to Boston today. I think they play the next three games in Boston, so it should be fun. I think we're not going to face Logan Gilbert or George Kirby. So I'm like,
We're
I
eight
don't
and
know.
two in our last 10.
You're 8-2 in your last 10. Oh, all right.
We are. The only thing is though, it's good that we're playing like we're really good at home. Like so far, our record at home's been like I think we're like 8 and something, and then our record away has been like kind of where we're going. So hopefully we can strings together some wins on a away streak. But
Yeah.
not. I'm sorry against you, but hopefully we
Yeah.
can
I
do
mean,
it.
I was gonna say it's gonna be tough. Red Sox play really good in Fenway. Like a lot of those
Yeah,
guys, like their swings are tailor made for that ballpark. So,
yeah,
yeah, it should be a really really fun matchup because yeah, like you said, like both teams are playing like pretty good. Both teams are, on paper at least, definitely playoff teams or at least going to be like in the top, up there. So, um, besides that, this past weekend was the Top Dog presented. I think it was presented by Innova. Top Dog Challenge. Yeah, sponsored by Innova. This is ran by John Anderson and Rob Beach. I played with Rob round one, which was covered by Fairway Media. So thanks, Justin Banks. Appreciate having you out there. I was super impressed. Did you notice he had a next day coverage out? Like
he's been
Sun, yeah, like
he's kicking
Sunday,
them.
Sunday morning he posted. I was like, "Yo,
He
what?"
was pretty quick with race psych as well. Like he's been on top of it 2025. Shout out Banksy, man.
Yeah, I know the guy's absolutely killing it right now. He seems like he's hitting a really good stride with it. So, really happy. I like I've said so many times, really happy to have him out there
Oh
and
yeah,
that. So
encourage him to come out to any event. Whenever he's posting like, should I come out to this event? I'm always like hype, liking that post and encouraging that because it only helps the sport grow. It's exciting to see. Yeah, I love to see it.
totally, it's a great way to highlight some of the local talent, and that helps elevate. When you have a player like Jeremy Marsh or like Asher, who we're going to get into in a minute here,
Oh yeah,
and they're able to during the off season when they're talking to sponsors, being able to link videos of them playing, being successful, and that kind of thing. Like that's huge. And the fact that like sponsors don't necessarily care that it's not Jomez or anything like that, but like the fact that you're just like making these like video cards and you're showing yourself off to like a lot of the locals who are watching is such a big deal. So
100%.
yeah, no, he's just an absolute asset to the community, and we really appreciate him. But yeah, Top Dog, it was kind of windy both rounds. It was like just breezy enough where like, some of those shots where you want to kind of like hyzer flip or you might kind of like force over a disc that's not necessarily super overstable. Definitely had you like rethinking a lot of those shots and a lot of those lines. Um, I mean, personally, like my personal recap is I just made too many like simple mistakes round one. There's probably like two or three strokes that are just like really just simple things where it's just like, hey man, if you just like maybe took an extra 10 seconds and like
Yeah,
stopped and like talked to yourself about this, like you might not make that mistake. Like, that 20-footer that you hit low, like maybe that like little stuff like that. And like that's not how golf works exactly, but looking at it, it's just like I could have saved there, I could have saved there, like really quick. Round two, completely different story though. I played so bad. I was just getting like having a tough time getting off the tee. Um, I went OB on five. I went OB on six. It was not like clean, and it's just one of those days where it was like just getting off the tee was just so tough. And
yeah,
then I was just, leaving myself like 35 footers. And then I started making the 35 footers. And I was just like, oh man, like if only this putt was with a day that I was actually like throwing the disc well, like we could be
yeah.
doing some damage.
Feel that. That's a
So
good analysis and good self reflection. I feel like of the round and just off scorecard. Yeah, feel that.
for sure. Yeah. It's really easy to be like frustrated at that
Yeah,
round because it was a very like very frustrating round for myself because getting off the tee is usually the thing that I'm so much better at and I feel so much more confident in, but it is nice like walking away from there and being like, I don't know, dude, you kind of bang 30 footers for
yeah. No,
like
hell yeah.
9 holes, so like if you're doing that, you get your shit together on the other side, like yeah, feeling okay going into Champions Cup, even though we're not playing, necessarily okay, or the scores don't look okay.
Yeah,
I feel fine. So, I am excited to get out there. I'm excited to just get a practice round and put down some big rollers and be just
Hell
throwing
yeah.
some like long air shots and that kind of thing. So,
Hell yeah.
we are going to go through the winners real quick of the top dog. I have those right here. Taking home MPO was Asher Weideman. Kid's absolutely amazing, fellow Discmania player. Second place was Chandler Fry. Third place was Thaddeus Tinkley. Little Mateo came in fourth. Tim Tankley and Jeremy Marsh came in tied for fifth. So big field, a lot of players in there. Pretty tight, at the top. Asher barely beat out Chandler. FPO, the winner was Corey Gerber Dolan. She beat out Jennifer Rice and Danielle Keene. MP40, the winner was Jedediah Domini. He beat out John Anderson and Kenny Clark. And I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of people out there, and I heard a lot of conversation of people who were um, surprised, I'll say, that, it wasn't like Kyle, Kenny, or John, and they're like, man, like those are the three names that we usually expect to win MP40. And I was like, hey guys, like, hang on, like Jedi is damn good. He's kind of like a doubles ringer. Like he shows up
Yeah.
to like all the doubles events. He's like cleaning up ace pots. He's
Yep.
like, if he's at a doubles event, like there's a good chance he's winning, if not coming in second. Like, so yeah, he's damn good. He's just maybe not the same like household style name that John Anderson or Kenny Clark are, kind of thing. So, but yeah, dude deserves all the respect.
I get envious how often I see him ace for like money
Yeah,
and cat. Like it's like every other week it feels like I see him on
yeah,
Facebook being like, "Oh, just rang this one up at Dubs," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
yeah. Another 120, another
Yeah, I was like,
200. Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, and I've played with him a couple times, and it's like you just got to be tracking the like this. It's like so you got to feel so good when you're
Yeah.
acing that much. Like you're really like in control and aiming that far down. It feels good.
Yeah, you know who else does that is C-Tech Zach Rosiska. Like he's another guy where it seems like he'll go through streaks where it seems like every other day he's like ace number 68, ace number 69, ace number
I
70, and you're like,
yeah when I
calm
think it,
down.
I think he's in yeah, it's crazy, dude. I dream of being in the 50s, 60s. One day, one day, one day.
Crazy, yeah. Winning MP50 was Bill Winkler. He beat out Jason Koch and David Felding. Winning MP60 was Steve Bell. Winning MP70 was TC Bear. Winning MA1 was John Geiger. Wow, he really handed it to the field. I've gotten to interact with John a little more in the last couple of weeks. John's a really really good guy.
So nice.
I have a really good time chatting with
He's
him.
such a good guy.
Him and the rest of I think he hangs out with it. What is it? Nate Wallen and the rest of
Lo-
those guys. Yeah, I know. Good group of guys.
Love Nate.
Yeah. But yeah, John beat out Reed Koch and Finn Barnes, who finished tied for second. Mark Hill, Ben Krasnoski, and Alec Maccabee, box squad captain, tied for fourth. So nice job there, boys. Um, FA1 was won by Samantha Wallen. MA40 was won by Gusty Golden, sweet name. Beat out Matthew Lucky Bigelow and Jeff Fastine. FA40 was won by T-Bex.
Let's go.
She beat out Jenny Awesome Krasbinski and Kayla Oridi, also box squad member. MA50 was won by Steve Pierce. He beat out Michael Lindsay and Bruce Sweeney Weaver, which I just have to say, I run into Bruce like it seems like almost every week, if not every other week, and just like the nicest dude in the world, man. I always have a good time just kind of saying what's up to him and running into him here and there. So Nick McLean won MA2. He beat out Rob Sear and Dax Felding, who got second and third. Zachary Dix got fourth, and Levi Reed got fifth. Levi, appreciate you watching, man. I saw you comment on last week's video. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. And winning MA3 is Blake Fetzer. He beat out James Radick and Levi Camel. James is one of my clients, so nice job, James. Really happy to see you getting out there, getting second places.
Let's
Nice job,
go.
buddy. Yeah. So that was Top Dog. Yeah. Nice job, everybody. One thing I just want to say, and somebody asked me about this the other day. They asked me like how I feel about like the youth movement in Washington, and they were mostly referring to Colin Bryant and Dallas Garber, who, as we know, just like incredible players, right?
Yeah.
And and I'm going to say this, and I mean this in no disrespect to any of the other players. I think Colin Bryant is like my prototypical, like, oh, this is going to be the best disc golfer. This is going to be the perfect disc golfer. He's smooth. Aaron's incredibly supportive. Like, Colin has a great head on his shoulders. Like, his form is just like picture perfect. Like, everything about what Colin does is just like
Yeah,
ideal. Um, I just want to say, I think Asher often isn't put into the same category as Dallas and Colin and like a Carter and like that kind of thing. And I think Asher definitely needs to be.
yeah,
I think he has all the talent that they have, if not more. He's got a great head on his shoulders. His father,
yeah,
Rob, crazy supportive. Um, he's starting to put up the scores to show that he is that guy. And I couldn't be happier. He's like, I love playing practice rounds with him. He's a great kid. He's got amazing anime recommendations and
yeah.
stuff like that. So, um,
Incredibly nice, incredibly funny. Yeah, good guy.
totally. Yeah, so I mean he is like when people talk about the youth movement in Washington and you want to talk about like Colin and Dallas, which you should, but
Yeah,
Asher should be like in that conversation without a doubt.
yeah, dude. You brought that up with Colin and Dallas, and I saw that picture of them as a kid, like at a
Yeah.
tournament together, and I was like, oh dang, I'm gonna see that in like 10 years or something when they're at like a major tournament, like competing or something. Like those two have such a high ceiling, and like I think yeah, those two are like up there for sure of like to come out. I really like that like little rivalry they have, and I love seeing those photos together. Like I feel like I was just watching a some golf documentary. It was like Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas as kids together, and now they're like
Hmm.
competing in there. I'm like, oh, I see some stuff like I was like almost like too close to. I was like watching that, and then I like clicked the story and saw that, and was like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hmm. Totally. Nah, just it's awesome though. I love it. It's really good and I don't know. It's so. I think what will end up happening is we're going to have these players like Colin, Dallas, and Archer and Asher,
Yeah,
and they're going to be on the pro tour. And at some point, the three of them are going to have success on the pro tour, and people are going to be like, "Dude, what the hell is going on in the Pacific Northwest over there that we aren't seeing?" And it's just going to highlight this whole area. You're going to have more people thinking of the Pacific Northwest as like a big disc golf hub or a disc golf hotspot, which is something we need up here. So,
yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yes. So, very cool. Look ahead to Twin Rivers Open. It's next weekend. There's a ton of spots available still. Ran by Dips Discs, Eric Dupinski, and Lucas Lada, I believe, are running it together. So, um, if I don't make it into Champions Cup and I come back, there's a pretty good chance I'm just going to sign up for this last minute and go and play. So,
Heck yeah,
um, yeah,
I
highly
like that
recommend checking
tournament a
that out.
lot.
Yeah, I love Twin Rivers. It's kind of gotten me the last couple of years. Like I feel like I haven't played super well out there. And every year I go out there being like, "All right, man, this is my year. I'm taking her down. Here we go."
No, I remember I got it. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Holy crap. So
Sweet.
Jimbo is
Jimbo, yeah.
Cowbell Dingling.
Cowbell.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
he was the one of the AGL team captains, and I played on a card with him really early on. That's how I like found AGL. But he was like having me try all like the whole AGL lineup, show me some discs. We were doing some prototype test numbers for the money tree at the time, and then he was like, "Here, take this." It was a Madrone. And he was like, had his team stamp on it. I was like, the coolest thing ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. And we got to like, is it like hole 12 or 13 at Twin Rivers where the river's on the right?
Like yeah, yeah, right back there.
And I was like, I'm gonna play this. Or no, it's on the left.
It's on the
And I,
left, and it's just like totally
cause I was
exposed.
gonna do a forehand, and I was like, oh, but I'm gonna do the safe play, putter down the right side. Nothing will happen. I kick a tree on the right side, go all the way across the fairway. I had not seen that disc again,
Yeah.
sadly.
What's crazy about that hole is when I first started playing that course, that left side had a tree line that got eroded into the river.
I've seen some erosion happen with like it's getting closer and closer, but
Yeah,
that's
if you go
crazy.
go back on Fairway Media, I bet you if you go back to like 2019 or something like that, 2018, and you watch like a Twin River Open up there, you'll see that hole. The left side is like a thick wall of trees and like
Dang.
brush and stuff like that. Like you can't like you can like barely see the water down there. And one day that whole thing just like fell. There used to be a tree like up the fairway that like if you went left side you had to avoid, and a beaver came up and like cut the tree down, and people were like pissed that like some like vandal came out and cut the tree down, and when you looked at it you could see these big like shavings off of it kind of thing, like it wasn't a person obviously. Yeah, that course has gone through a bunch of changes. I wonder how long until that hole eventually just can't be
It's
played.
gone. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
because like
that hole's gonna be gone.
it's all sand. It's like no wonder why it's just like falling into the river like this. Like it's crazy. Um, all right, we'll jump right into our NHL check-in. This is two guys talking about hockey who don't know about hockey. Vegas is up 1-0. Pretty exciting first game. I checked it. I just watched the highlights of it. I've been super busy this week. I think they're playing again tonight, but yeah, it was really close actually. It was 3-2 in the third, and then Vegas hit an empty netter like literally as the time was winding down. Like it hit the net and they had to like watch the clock again to see the puck cross the line, and like when
See,
the clock ended and there was like 0.1 seconds left on the clock when it ended. So like
crazy.
it did count as an official goal, so they did technically win 4-2, but it was not like I was like that's not a real goal. That's not it. So
The Capitals, they're doing pretty solid. Ovechkin's first ever playoff goal last night. He scored two and assisted the other one. They won 3-2. So starting off the playoff well against the Canadians. Yeah, you can't really do that much. Yeah, he's doing everything. I was
yeah,
like, he's so like, it's just exciting to watch. I hopefully like I hope it's like a Cinderella ending of the season. You know, break your leg, break the record, and then win this championship.
yeah,
Like, I think that sounds pretty damn cool. But
just breaking the curse, just breaking everything this year, man.
just break it all, man.
Dude, that's sick. Hell yeah.
But tomorrow, playing the Canadians for Game Two. Exciting for that. Yeah, it's. I think hockey is a lot more chewable. Like it's a lot more easier for me to take when it's playoffs. I think most sports are. You know, playoffs are just a lot easier to watch. Less teams, less games. You know, you can
Yeah.
focus on those teams, focus on those players. The
Hmm.
quality of the games are higher. You're seeing the best plays, so it's like, yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot more exciting.
Yeah, everything's highlighted a little more,
Yeah,
everything's kind of covered a little better. Totally,
yeah.
man. It's been so like, yeah, watching like the highlights of that game and like just finding information on that game was so much easier because I will say like going to like even like the Knights website, and the Knights are like a first place team.
Yeah,
Like some of their news articles like on the front page are from like 2 weeks ago. It's like, dude, update the website, man.
I
Like you
need
got people.
something. I
Yeah,
need
like you
something.
you have people. Like you're paying millions of dollars for team players.
I know. I want to know who at social, like what person's on the website payroll that's getting paid like 200K to just like monitor it and be like,
Just like,
it's okay.
yeah, this video played, so we're cool. Oh, the score updated. It's like,
We're in
God damn it,
first. What's
man.
it matter?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like they know where we're at. They know. So funny. All right, we're gonna get into the draft this week. This week we're doing the serial draft. Ollie and I need one more week to kind of hash out the letter draft. I say that, but we might push this back as long as we want to. Fuck it, it's
It's
our show.
honestly, like to do homework on all the episodes and like figure out all the drafts and then like rank the drafts and then like yeah, because it's like that's hard.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm gonna have to watch at least like I don't know, 15, 16 drafts. I know there's a couple of drafts that I did that afterwards I was like, not my best work, but there was a few that I was like, that one might be pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. It's like a kind of a commitment. So we're gonna do it eventually, though. That's for sure. Um, but this week we're doing the cereal draft. Ollie already admitted he's a big cereal eater. My wife is a big cereal eater. I don't eat a ton of cereal myself, so eating the cereal. Ollie, what do you got for the number one overall pick?
ooh, the one of one. I'm gonna go with my goat, cinnamon toast crunch.
Balls.
Woo!
Yeah,
I love some cinnamon toast crunch, man. I go crazy for it.
it's the best one.
Dry, what with the milk, it's good,
Yeah.
and then the milk it'll get all cinnamony, and then you have like basically like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
nah, it's the best. My wife is on a big kick where she gets we can't find them anymore, but they're the minis where they look like little
Oh
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then she was making Rice Krispie treats with those. So like that was like a big thing. That's a huge fucking hit in our house, dude. We can't find the minis anymore though, so it's kind of disappointing. But yeah, no,
Mm,
that is the perfect 1-1 pick. It is the number one pick,
I
no
love
doubt.
it. In the morning, start your day off a little cinnamon, sugar. Ooh.
Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna have to go with my second overall pick, and I'm a fan. I don't know if this is necessarily the most popular cereal out there, but Reese's Puffs.
Oh,
Big
okay.
fan.
Yep.
I like the peanut butter is just enough. It's not very chocolatey, which is huge for me in the mornings. I really don't want to have like a huge like chocolate blast or anything like that. So, yeah,
Peanut butter
Reese's.
chocolate flavor.
That's right, dude. Those commercials back in the day were sick. Hell yeah,
They win that department by a lot.
totally. Oh
Well,
man,
we'll see. Yeah, keep
yeah,
going.
they're good. Yeah.
There's some other yeah.
And then for the number three pick in the draft, I'm gonna pick Lucky Charms. Big fan of Lucky
Great
Charms
pick.
as
Great
well.
pick.
Yeah. Lucky Charms hit. I don't, it's there are times where I'm like, man, it's just like so many marshmallows, and then I'm like, shut the fuck up, marshmallows are the best part, dude.
And then you're out of marshmallows and you're like, what am I eating? No,
Yeah,
I'm
what is
kidding.
this? What is this? This is oats. What am I, a fucking horse?
I start rationing that shit out. I'm like six oats and one marshmallow, bro. I'm like, we're gonna make this last.
Totally, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
You're a
I
real
love.
psycho. You're a real psycho when you're looking at it and you're like, oh, we gotta save the blue one for the end, so we'll eat the yellow one now.
You gotta ration them, man. You gotta ration them.
Oh,
The
that's
other,
awesome.
my next pick, the number 4 pick, and my number 2 pick, I'm gonna go with another great commercial they had, the Apple Jacks. The
Okay.
cinnamon and the apple commercial. I love Apple Jacks, another cinnamon cereal. A little more fruity with it, a little more appley with it than the cinnamon toast crunch. I really like that apple.
Sure.
Um, and then yeah, I'm a big fan of Apple Jacks. A big fan.
Yeah.
And then another one. This is like honestly, I think of it as like I probably should have just taken it as my number 2 pick, but it is my probably my number 2 cereal of all time. But Frosted Flakes, man, Frosted
Okay.
Flakes are so damn good.
Yeah, they are.
Crunchy, you can have them like a little drier right off the milk, pour, let them sit for a second and get a little like when they kind of like conglom together, you get one big spoonful of them, they're a little wet and soggy. I
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a fan. I love
Nah,
them.
dude. No, you kind of you nailed it. Those are great picks for sure. Those commercials for Apple Jacks were sick with like the cinnamon stick and the
Yes.
apple like doing shit on the
Dude,
skateboard.
I guess they made him not Jamaican anymore. I seen a commercial
Oh
recently and he's not Jamaican anymore.
no, he was. That was his like. He was like the. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it wasn't.
And I like the evil apple.
Yeah, the evil apple
The
was
bad
sick. Like,
apple, bro. The bad apple and this
yeah,
Jamaican cinnamon twist. Come on.
it was pretty odd. Ah, man, nah, that's pretty. That's hilarious. I didn't know they did that. Um, so fucking funny. All right. So for my number six pick, um, this is one that does kind of come with a little bit of like there's a system here, and it's
Okay.
gonna be Fruity Pebbles is my number six pick, but. I like Fruity Pebbles when I can sit down with the bowl, the milk, and the box of cereal, and I can hit
Yep.
cereal, milk, and then just start eating, right?
Yep.
And I got to do like half bowls or like three-quarter bowls. Like, it's not a cereal that I'll make a big bowl of cereal, sit down and ham at because it's just they disintegrate. They're like nothing at the end there. So,
Yep.
Fruity Pebbles though.
Good pick. Good pick. Love some fruity pebbles.
And then for my number seven pick, I got three cereals that I want to draft.
I have
Um,
2. So if you, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good.
I don't think any of these are on your list, honestly. Oh man, I'm really stuck. You know what? I'm gonna go with um Frosted Cheerios. I think it's a really underrated cereal. Cheerios are great. It's kind of got the same like Cheerio texture, but the
Is
like
that
the
it,
frosted flake flavor.
is it the box blue?
Yeah, the blue
Yeah, I
box.
know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about. Those are bomb. Those are bomb. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong.
Super good.
Don't get me wrong.
All right.
I
What do
love
you,
a good Cheerio. Are Cheerios off limits now, or can I do another flavored Cheerio?
you can do another flavor Cheerio.
All right, and then another all-time favorite for me. I think there's just something with the apple cinnamon, man. The apple cinnamon Cheerio.
Yeah,
Ah,
I get
so
you.
good in the morning. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
might I got a little too much apple cinnamon there. I was gonna go my honorable mention. It was gonna be Cocoa Puffs. The Cocoa Puffs are so dang good.
sure.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
me some Cocoa Puffs. I love me a low key underrated one that I was a big fan of, Cookie Crisps. The little
Cookie
mini
crisp.
chocolate, yeah, Cookie Crisps,
Sure.
and also like a dry bag of Cookie Crisps. Bomb,
Yeah,
bomb.
no, I get that. That was my sister's like absolute. Yeah, my sister's absolute favorite cereal growing up. We had that shit in the house all the time.
Yeah,
My honorable mentions, I just thought of another one. Honey Smacks actually
Yeah.
like low key hit real hard. I had cinnamon checks, the
Yep.
whatever it is. That one's really really good. And then the other one that I had on here was Tricks.
Yeah.
Um,
Tricks. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard a funny thing about Tricks because Tricks are for kids, right? And did you notice how Tricks all of a sudden stopped doing fruit shapes? They started doing balls. But do you think that they actually stopped doing fruit shapes, or do you think that you're just not a kid anymore?
I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a man.
That's right. So you can't see the real Trick
I
cereal
hate
anymore.
those kind of things. I don't want to think like that. Dude, like those kind of things. So I was like, I don't want to grow old, man. I like, dude, I would be so fearful of that. Like Codename Kids Next Door used to like,
Hmm.
I'd be like, I don't want to grow out of it. Don't
I
wipe
don't
my
want to
memory.
know.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
dude. So you're not. So if the guy comes to you with the Matrix, you're the guy who's like, yeah, I want a rich wife. I want a lot of money. I'm like, I'm like you're like that guy in the Matrix, huh? Nice.
Basically.
No, dude, I
Honestly,
can't.
also one last one. The mini wheats. I'm a big fan of mini wheats too. I feel
Oh
like the
yeah,
mini
that's
wheats are. They also got mad flavors and they're mad filling and mad good.
yeah. Those I actually like to snack on those dry. I'll just put
Exact.
like the sugary side down on the tongue and just like suck on it for
I
and let
think
them
you gotta
dissolve.
have some to be a great cereal. You have to be able to eat it dry. There's some
Yeah,
dry availability has to be there. Because
yeah.
what if your milk goes bad? The milk's like I don't know. There's so many
Mhm.
instances where
Yeah.
you can eat it have it dry.
Yeah,
But
my new one too is if you can make Rice Krispie treats out of it. If they make good Rice Krispie treats, because
oh
that's
yeah,
like
facts,
my wife's like
dude. I
favorite
you put me
thing.
on. I'm gonna have to go try that. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to really. I'm gonna go find those and
so
try that.
it's so nice. If you find them, let me know where you find them because we I want to get a few boxes for Ellie.
Episode 54 rounds out the draft. Another great episode. Had some great number 54s, so it feels good to have a nice long episode and get it back to two things. Don't forget to use code OctoOllie. We're gonna have those in the description and going out throughout the episode, and Kirby's code as well.
Kirby 20.
Kirby20. So don't forget to use those. AGL drops on Friday at 9 a.m. So be there and be ready. To round out number 54, I got a quote from one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history, Brian Urlacher. You've got to be nasty out there, but most of the times, I'm having fun. Aim high, shoot low, and we'll see you next week. Peace!